In this session, we'll be understanding how to install AngularJS in Visual Studio. Okay, how to consume AngularJS, okay, external file in Visual Studio, and also we'll see how to consume AngularJS CDN in Visual Studio. Okay, and we'll see some basic examples using binding expression. So this is the agenda. Let me open my Visual Studio. I have a Visual Studio 2013 and I also have Visual Studio 2015. Okay, so for this one there is no rule that you need to have a particular version. You can use whatever you feel comfortable. I'm going to be using Visual Studio 2013. Okay, my software is having a complete version, so I don't need to have any what will be called web or what will be called Windows switcher with me. Now this is my Visual Studio. Now what I'll be doing is, let me create a new project. Okay, I'm just creating a new project. In the new project, what I'm trying to do is, I'll be selecting the web Visual Studio. Okay, I'll be selecting ASP.NET empty web application. Empty, you know the meaning of empty. I'm not targeting to JSP or PHP or something else. It's an empty, just empty. I'll be naming my application is something called as, okay, web application 1, and I'm creating a new solution for us, that is batch, okay, 141 solution. So it's telling that already yesterday I created, I believe. Let me have 01. So it's telling. Now what happens, an empty web application has been created and the name of the web application is webapp01. Okay, and in that the application has been created in the batch 141 solution. So all the practice programs from today, whatever we are doing, I'll be putting into this solution. Now, since I created an empty one, I don't have anything. So first of all, do remember, see here jQuery, Angular, okay, something else, not Node.js, Node.js, etc. All these are the external files. In case if you want to maintain the client-side script external files, it is strongly recommended to have a folder called as a scripts folder. I repeat, you need to have a folder called as a scripts folder. Even you don't have a script folder also, if you try to download any scripts, the scripts will be automatically added a folder called as a scripts. So I strongly recommended to have your scripts inside the script folder. Right, now what happens? Your script folder is ready. Now your system will be very clear that this folder is a repository for all the external files which we are going to be downloading. Now in the references, okay, if you right click here, you'll be able to see an option called as a manage nugget packages. So what is this manage nugget packages, which will directly go to the Microsoft. In that Microsoft, it will find out what external files can be downloaded. Okay, please click on it. A new window will be opened that is called as a nugget packages. Right, in this window you need to search what kind of external files you want to download. Any external files, it can be script files, it can be DLL libraries, etc. Now I am going to be searching for a file called as a AngularJS file. Right, what is AngularJS? As I said you right, AngularJS is an external JavaScript file which is used to develop the web applications at client side. Now here we have a lot of options. We'll be understanding one by one. Let's start with the first application. Second one called as AngularJS core. So you know the meaning of a core, right? Core in the sense basic things which are essential for your requirement. Why? Because we are into the basic thing. Let me click on the install button. When you click on the install button, now what happens, you will be understanding AngularJS core related script files will be added to your current project. Once it is done, you'll be able to see the green color tick mark. Okay, click on close button. Now if you expand the scripts folder, you will be able to see all the AngularJS core related basic files were downloaded. As I said you very clearly, AngularJS is not a software program. It's not a software application. It's just an external file. In case if you want to read the content, you are allowed. Just click on it. You can see the content which is available in the page. You can read the content. If you are a JavaScript programmer, you can read this content and you can edit this content also. Right? It's not a software. It's not an application. It's just a JavaScript file. Now, when you work with any external files, whether it's a JavaScript, jQuery, Knockout, whatever it may be, for every file you'll be having two different files will be there for everything. One is original file which contains a complete information. Another one will be the min file. Min file in the sense minified file version. Here, whatever the memory occupied for this one, it will be very less amount of memory. Example, this is having complete information. Let's say variable name hello, here it will take H. Okay, if you have a spaces, it will release the spaces. Now what happens, this will be used in the development, this will be used in the production. Both are actually same. This is having the complete file information, where this is having only the minified information, which is while production, okay, why you want the long definition syntaxes are not required. Okay, but in the development you need to have the syntax. So you can use this one for a development purpose. This is used for deployment purpose, production purpose. Right. So what I will generally use is I will import only the minified version. So what happen, page will be more and more light. Now, where you want to do all the things, I need to have one HTML page. See here, AngularJS can be implemented in the HTML pages. AngularJS can be implemented in the web forms. AngularJS can be implemented in any web application like JSP, PHP, anything. Let's start with a very basic example. I will be adding a page called as a HTML page. So I have one HTML page. Hope you know the advantage of HTML page, right? So I have a HTML page. Now you people may ask you a question. See, why you took the HTML in Visual Studio? Why can't you take a notepad? Very simple question. Let's say when I create a new HTML page, you are able to see almost this much code has been written. Now I don't want to have this code. When you open a regular notepad, you will be having this. Right? I want that code. So I want to simplify my thing. So I'll go for the HTML inside the Visual Studio. Now HTML provides the intelligence, right? Let's say less than HT. You have this HTML, right? If I click on the tab button twice, tap. Now the code is generated. This is the power of Visual Studio intelligence. This is the power of Visual Studio intelligence. I repeat, if I say simply less than HT, tap, the respective code will be automatically generated, which is essential. Now, what are we expecting? I want to add AngularJS to my file. See, do remember AngularJS is nothing but one of the external file JavaScript related. So what we need to do is just click and drag and drop. Now this will be coming here. In the head section, I dragged and drop. Now what happened in the head section? The script file has been attached. Now my web page is AngularJS enabled. My web page is AngularJS enabled. This is a very simple. Or else what I can do, instead of scripts here downloading this, I can use the AngularJS CDN. That also I'll tell you. Now once it is happening, what can be done? Now Visual Studio will start its intelligence features. Now what are we expecting? I want to perform AngularJS. Now AngularJS can be applied for entire body, or AngularJS can be applied for particular type. Let's say I would like to have AngularJS to be enabled. So for this, what we made, we simply drag and drop the AngularJS file. Let's coming here. In order to make AngularJS accessible, you have to use something called as the AngularJS directives called ng dash. What it is? Ng dash. This is AngularJS directive. Now what is AngularJS directive? Which will provide the AngularJS instructions to your current tag. Now I have given this information in the tag called as a body tag. Now what we need to, first of all, you need to import something called as a Angular app, ng-app. You need to say app. So this is the power of Visual Studio. See here, I need not to remember all these things. Everything is available. That is the reason I'm preferring Visual Studio. Basically, I'm also a .NET programmer, right? Angular-app. Now this is. Now I haven't imported any app. I simply said that Angular app enabled. Now Angular basic things are allowed in my program. Right guys, this is what exactly called as a AngularJS. Now, how to check Angular is working? Very simple. In AngularJS, your statement execution will be provided inside the curly braces twice. You need to give the curly brace like this. Curly brace, curly brace. This is called as a binding expression. What it is? Binding expression. And what a binding expression will have? Binding expression will have any executable, what will be called AngularJS statement. I can give a basic what will be called mathematical calculations. I can use the JavaScript basic methods. I can go for double quotes and string concatenation. Everything is possible. Later when I populate the data from any JSON objects or any arrays or any initialization values, I will be populating using this binding expression. Let's say I just want to have sample addition. I want to have an addition. Let's say I'm writing 10 plus 10. Now what happens, this 10 plus 10 will be addition will be performed. If you are able to see 20, that indicates AngularJS has been successfully added to your current project. The output of this one will be visible in the browser. Now addition is 20. If you are able to see this message, your AngularJS is ready. I can have the message inside also. Let's see, I can specify curly braces. Inside the message, inside also I can have a message. Like addition I given, right? Let me call subtraction. Subtraction. This is a message. Within double quotes, whatever you give, that will not be evaluated. Okay? Without double quote, that will be evaluated. And plus symbol is a regularly used for any concatenation. What do you want to do? I want to give it subtraction. Let's say 20 minus 5. Now what happens, subtraction message will be displayed as it is and 20 minus 5 will be executed. Now you will be able to see that message. So addition, subtraction. Addition regular text. Now subtraction is the text inside the Angular expression. Alright, you can go for all mathematical expressions. You can use all the things. And regular HTML is allowed. For example, I want to say multiplication. I can say multiplication. Right. So I can say 5 into 3. So I can get that one. Right. This is what exactly called as a AngularJS. Okay. And the things whatever you are writing between the curly brace 2 times, open and close, and it will be called as a binding expression. So what is binding expression? Any expressions will be, if you give here, that will be automatically binded. Right. Now this is the way how to perform a manipulation on Angular. Let's start with the example once again. First of all, what I made, I'll tell you. See, first of all, I added one. Okay, I downloaded the what will be called AngularJS script with us. All right. How did I download the AngularJS script? When I right click on the reference, I'll be able to see manage nugget packages. Then I'll click on the AngularJS. Now once it is done, I'll add a normal web form or any HTML basic example. I can take a HTML. In the HTML, I'll be able to see the HTML document. Let's drag and drop the AngularJS minified version. All right, that is coming. Now what we need to do? ng-app. Okay, ng-app. So your Angular is available. Now here, what I can do is I can perform any manipulation. Generally, we have to use a HTML very clearly. I'll be taking as a division 1. In the division, I'll say 10 into 10. Now what happened? This will be executed. I can have one more division. Let's say division. So let's say in the first division, I'm using something called as a addition. Here let's say I'm using addition. Right, here I'm using multiplication. Now what is the difference between these two? See here I have two binding expressions in two divisions. In division 1 binding expression is there, in division 2 binding expression is there. Is it allowed to execute? Yes. Why? Because your Angular has been provided in the body tag. Now what is body tag? Here the part of the body. Now if it is provided your Angular app, my Angular app scope will be from here to here. From here to here, if you have a Angular, it will be allowed. Let's say if I use the Angular app in my division, can I use the Angular app in division? Yes, you can use Angular directives anywhere. Now what happens, this Angular app is available from here to here. Now you can see this expression will be evaluated. What about this one? It doesn't know what is Angular app. Now run this example, you will not get the multiplication. See here, this is happened. Addition is happened because it is inside the Angular app directive. Multiplication is not happening because it is not in the Angular. Understand guys? This is a basic example. Now, it is strongly recommended to have Angular app always ng-app in the body tag. It's not a rule. It's not a rule. Okay. Now let's say, can I have your regular what will be called strings? Yes, I can have a string. Let's say very basic example I'll be writing inside the div tag. I just want to print my name. How to print my name? Very simple. Within double quotes, I'm writing my name. Very basic example. Now what it is? See here, when you have anything, now what happens? This will be printed as this. Since I have a double quotes. All right. If you want to have a length to be provided, very clear. See here, JavaScript contains length attribute length. Now this is an attribute which will directly provide you the length of this string. See, as we've kept in the double quotes, Kiran Kumar will be printed. But Kiran Kumar dot length. Now what happens? This name, this length will be displayed here. This is what exactly possible. In the same way, I can specify Kiran Kumar. Okay. Now I can say dot to uppercase. Now what is uppercase? See here, uppercase is a JavaScript method. What it will do, it will convert the entire string into capital letters. See here, JavaScript methods follows a syntax style called as a camel case notation. What do you mean by camel case notation? First letter will be small letter. Second word onwards, every first letter will be capital letter. Alright, in the same way I'm writing another name Kiran Kumar. Okay, so I can specify dot to lowercase. I'll be able to see that one. Right, run this example. You are supposed to have the output what you are expected. Okay, so the given name is Kiran Kumar. Length is 11 letters. Uppercase is this one, lowercase. Later we can get the data from the variables or JSON objects. Same style we can get the data from the databases, XML files, anywhere it is possible. Right? This is what exactly called as binding expressions. Right? Binding expression in the sense any arithmetic manipulations or string manipulations data will be can be provided. So binding expression is a very important feature in your AngularJS, and this feature along in this with this feature will be also calling as a binding framework. So later what I can do, whatever you do in any place that will be immediately affected over here. All right. So in this we have seen what is a binding expression. Binding expression is used to provide the expression in the document. Okay, so expression inside the document. The statement inside the binding expression will be processed. So this feature is available by simply importing the ng app directive anywhere in the HTML page. Now here CDNs. CDNs in the sense what will be called AngularJS links are available. You can copy the link. You need not to have that file to be downloaded in your system. Right. Simple CDN. Addition I can give subtraction, multiplication, division. Right. If you want to have a normal string to be displayed, string dot to uppercase, string dot to lowercase. Okay, length everything is allowed. A binding expression. Can I concatenate two strings? Yes, you can concatenate two strings also. Let's say hello message, world message. So hello world will be printed the output. Let's say trainer name. It's a message plus symbol hidden. You can have two strings can be concatenated. Let's say you're getting the data from two different variables. You can get the data from two different variables and you can print them. This is what exactly called as a binding expression. So I can say addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. Okay, why I'm giving you this one in the sense to understand the feature of binding expression. All right, now how to work with Angular. In order to work with Angular, we have a facility called as a Angular Directive. Right? What is Angular Directive? Ng dash is used to provide Angular Directive. Now you can understand that dash will remove the basic HTML functionality. If you don't have a dash, what happens? It will try to process HTML or it will try to ignore. So in order to avoid that one, they introduce something called as a ng dash. Ng dash in the sense it will not be related to HTML or JavaScript. It's just a directive. Now it is used to provide Angular Directive. It is used to provide Angular Directive. Angular Directive behave like a predefined statement related to the AngularJS. What are the directives we are going to be using? We have different directives used in the Angular. So we are going to be using Angular app, Angular what will be called controller, Angular include, init, model, bind. Okay, we also have something called as a ng-bind. Okay, so we have something called ng-show, ng-hide, ng true values, ng if. Like this, we have a lot of binding expressions we have. Okay, ng options we have, ng repeats we have. Okay, we are going to be discussing one by one. Right here, and if you remember, here ng dash, okay, directive can be provided, okay, in any tag. That tag only available with ng dash feature. Understand? So it is strongly recommended. Here it is highly recommended to have ng-app, okay, in body tag, so that feature is available for entire body. Generally ng-controller will be there. We'll have individual controllers. ng-controller recommended to have inside div tag. Okay, what it is? Div tag. Div, we have something called as a ng-controller. Let's say employee. Now what happens, employee controller kind of things will be available over here. This will be discussed in the further days. Alright, so we have seen what is ng dash. Now, so here I'm not going to be continuing now. Let me have a simple example and we'll bind up today. Let's see, if you want to have what will be called binding feature, let's understand what is binding. Let's say I'll be having something called as a MVC model view controller. Let's say I have input type is equal to text box. In case if anybody from HTML background, they might understand input type equal to text. What is input type equal to text? It's a text box. Generally we'll be providing some name. Now what I'll be doing is I'll be writing this one as a model. What it is? Model. What do you mean by model? Model in the sense you're creating this one as a model. Now what is the name I'm giving? Something called as a name. Now this text box, okay, will be provided as a model for your project. Now wherever you have name, that will be immediately borrowed from here. Alright, let's see, here I'm writing some message, enter your name. I'm writing a message, enter your name. So after writing enter your name, okay, I'm writing a break. Here I'm writing hello. And what is the name of the variable I took? Name. Now what happens, this is the name which we provided in the ng, what will be called, ng model. Then I am printing here. Now run this example. What happens, let's say if I type something here, I'll be able to see immediately. This is called as a binding. In the same moment, it will be affected immediately. So this is called as a binding. Okay, let's say this will be coming. So in tomorrow's session, we'll see different different ways to bind, how to provide something called as a model, and how to also we'll see how to provide the initialization.